What's poppin' YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse, Jiggy Hippie, back with another video for y'all. And this video right here, we're gonna be talking about if you have Chiron in the second house or in the sign of Taurus. And I'll pause for the cause. If you don't know how to find your Chiron placement, if you're a new subscriber, if you're just starting off your journey of self-love, self-knowledge, self-understanding, if you don't realize why it's so important that you have to look at your birth chart, study your birth chart, and to love yourself through astrology and numerology, don't worry, I got you. There's a couple of videos. I'll put the link in the description. You have to watch them first to become hip to the knowledge of what I'm about to talk about right now. And another pause for the cause. If y'all are into spiritual jewelry, like the one I'm wearing currently, hit up my homegirl Lorena. She goes by Aquarius Moon on Instagram, and she just recently made a website. I'll leave the link in the description. She makes jewelry. She has crystal pendants. She does readings too. So if y'all into anything like that, hit up her shop. So without further ado, let's just get it popping, shall we? Now you already know before I start, I'm going to give y'all a list of celebrities that have Chiron in the second house. And then I'm going to have a list of celebrities that have Chiron in the sign of Taurus. So to start, we got Robin Williams, Kourtney Kardashian, Naomi Campbell, Aaliyah, Conor McGregor, Selena, Rosa Parks, Dennis Rodman, Keke Palmer, and Russell Brand. And now these are the celebrities that have Chiron in the sign of Taurus. We got Marilyn Monroe, Beyonce, Albert Einstein, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Nicki Minaj, Alicia Keys, Kobe Bryant, Aaliyah, and Tom Brady. Alright, so boom, Chiron in the second house or Chiron in Taurus. First of all, what does Chiron mean? What does Chiron represent in our birth chart? So Chiron is not a planet, it's an asteroid, and it orbits in between two planets of Saturn and Uranus. So it orbits in between these two planets. So you could say it kind of gravitates the energies of both in our birth chart. So Chiron represents in our birth chart what we came into this lifetime with a vulnerability. We came into this lifetime with a sense of needing to heal this part in our life. It's considered the wounded healer. And where to get this name from? To break this down, I gotta bring y'all all the way back in the Maybach to Greek mythology. So before I say this, like I say, this is a mythological story, so all the details might not be exactly as you heard it. The stories could change different times, but you want to understand the symbolisms and what you're supposed to take from these stories, the symbolisms of it. So Chiron was abandoned at birth because Chiron's father, which is Kronos or Saturn, he had a reputation for eating his children after they were born because he was afraid that his children would come and overthrow his power. And his fear was true because one of his sons, Zeus, actually did that. So Chiron's father, Kronos, was out looking for Zeus. While he was looking for Zeus, he came across a nymph called Philyra that he actually was attracted to. But Philyra did not want nothing to do with Kronos. So she changed herself into a horse or a mare, they say, to try to run away from Kronos. And Kronos changed himself into a mare or a horse to try to get with Philyra. So they got together. You could say that he raped her because she did not want nothing to do with it. So out came Chiron. He was like the bastard child. Chiron's mother did not want nothing to do with Chiron because he looked so different. She was ashamed of what happened. So he was abandoned. So out came Apollo. He was the god of enlightenment, the god of light. And he kind of took Chiron under his wings, kind of showed Chiron the ropes. He was like a master healer, master teacher. So he taught Chiron how to do different things like poetry, music, healing, astrology. So Chiron, from becoming abandoned and from learning from what Apollo was teaching him, Chiron himself became a healer. He became like a teacher. He became the person that was a prominent figure in that lifetime. So teaching other gods and training other gods. So Hercules came in and started to have a war with other centaurs. Remember, centaur is a half man, half horse. And he accidentally hit Chiron in the hip with a poison arrow. So remember, Chiron is a healer already. He became like a master healer, master teacher. So that's where he gets the healing energy from. but he has a wound that cannot be healed from that poison. And because his father is Kronos, which is a god, Chiron himself is immortal, so he can never die. So that wound that he got from Hercules accidentally was a wound that he couldn't heal himself. At the same time, he's healing other people. So that's where you get the wounded healer, that wounded healer thing from. So it came to the point where he started begging and asking the gods to please let me die so I could get over this, to get over this wound, because he was not dying because he's immortal. And that's where they say they got the constellation from Sagittarius from in the sky from Chiron dying officially. So all that put together, what all that means is what the wounded healer effect is, and when it comes to Chiron. So Chiron in your birth chart shows you where you feel the most vulnerable in your life. It's like a pain, it's like a wound that you get in this lifetime, coming in this lifetime. It's not your fault that you have these this pain coming in, the same way it's not Chiron's fault that he was a bastard child. But we come into this lifetime with a wound that we have to heal ourselves, and Chiron is a key, the glyph is a key. So once we heal ourselves in whatever house our Chiron is in, whatever sign it's in, showing us what area in life it's in, once we heal ourselves, it would unlock our purpose to actually be able to heal others, and others will look up to us after we have done the work ourselves. It's like once we become self-healing, then we can actually go out into the world and help others. Remember Saturn and Uranus. Saturn makes it restrictive, so it gives us the limitations and restrictions, and Uranus is like the humanity planet, like the liberation and to do something progressive. So once we heal ourselves with the restrictiveness, then we could go out and actually help humanity and help people around us. So what does it mean having Chiron in the second house or Chiron in Taurus? You already know second house energy. Taurus energy is all about material possessions, stability, self-value, which is a very key point with this placement, is self-value, things that are tangible. So what happens with these people as they're growing up is they're looking around, and you could have been abandoned at birth, not physically, but abandoned is in a way as in when you wanted to get something, when you wanted value in something, when you asked for something from your parents, maybe they did not give it to you, or they kind of didn't feed your needs in a way. They kind of didn't help you get your self-value up. Your self-value was kind of tarnished as a child because you wanted to get things, you wanted to do things, and it was like restricted in a way. You could have looked around in school, seeing all the kids having all nice things, and like, how come I can't have that? How come my parents don't do that for me? So you kind of look around, looking at other people's, placing value into things of what they have, their material possessions, and you kind of feel bad about yourself because you're not able to get that. So what happens as you're growing older, Taurus energy likes to hold on to things, right? So as you're growing older, you start to place value on things like monetary possessions, or it doesn't have to be money, it could be onto people. It's like your value, your inner value is tarnished to the point that you can look outwardly to gain your sense of value, sense of self. So your wound in the second house, Chiron or Taurus Chiron, the wound is your sense of value, your sense of security within yourself. That's the wound that you have to heal. If you don't heal this wound, you will realize that you might place like, all right, so if I have this amount of money in my bank account, I'll be happy. If I get this person in a relationship, I'll be happy. If I get this car, I'll be happy. You kind of place value on things outside of yourself that you say, if I get this thing, if I attain these things, if I have these things tangibly, I'll be happy. And what Chiron does with this placement, a lot of times with these people, is the more you're chasing after things outside of yourself to gain value, the more it kind of restricts it, it kind of takes it away. Remember, Saturn energy takes things away from you because it forces you to learn how to deal with life without it, if that makes sense. So you realize that you're trying to chase after something, trying to gain something, either money or possessions or person or things outside of yourself for value. And the more you're chasing after it, the more it gets taken away from you. So what Chiron is teaching you and what you're supposed to learn, your lessons with this placement, is to have your own sense of internal value. That's the most important placement. That's the most important lesson for this placement. You will realize that you could be the type to want to always be around people, not because you're like a friendly person, but because you kind of place your value on the people you have around you, the relationships you have around you. It's like you place your value on things that are not internal. So these type of people need to understand that the more that you value yourself, the more that you actually heal from your childhood pains, your childhood wounds, because I understand that growing up, you kind of didn't have your self-esteem instilled in you. You kind of didn't have your self-value instilled in you, which is why a lot of times you look outwardly for your sense of value. But the more you actually sit down, sit within yourself, trying to figure out your own value system, trying to figure out your own sense of self when it comes to value especially, that's when you will realize the monetary possessions, the things that you want will just come and flow into you naturally. Because look at it like this. So money is energy. And energy flows. It does not stop. It continuously flows. So money flows. Money is energy. If you're out chasing it, if you're out chasing money, if you're out trying to like put your sense of value onto money or things that are tangibly outside of yourself, you're low-key blocking the flow of money coming into your life. But as soon as you get your mind off of, if I have this, I'll be happy. If I have that person, I'll be happy. If I have this amount of money, I'll be happy. As soon as you get your mind off of trying to attain something to receive value, and you put that energy into yourself to receive value, you will realize that money will flow into your life even freer and even like more fluently than if you're out chasing it. So these people, the way that you unlock your potential to actually heal people is once you figure out who you are, once you love yourself truly. And when I say love yourself in all my videos, but I have to repeat this because this is like the most important thing you could do as a person in this reality is to fully and truly love yourself and to value yourself first before you could do anything in life. So once you do this and you understand who you are as a person, you understand your values and you love yourself, you could also in turn be able to help people to tap into their self-love, to tap into their self-value. And these people could be really good at being like financial advisors, like bankers, people that help people with when it comes to monetary things, second house things, Taurus type things. So as soon as you heal yourself and help yourself, you realize that you have a talent to actually be able to help others tap into their self-value, to tap into their abundance when it comes to getting something outside of themselves. But all that will not happen until you actually fully look within yourself and have your own self-value. So your self-value was tarnished. Your self-value is wounded. That's your wound you come into this lifetime. That's your vulnerability. You always want to hold on to things so much because you're afraid that it's going to leave you. You always want to do things like, you always want to put your value into something else and hold on to it because you're afraid that it's going to go, because in the past you have dealt with things leaving you and like being taken away from you. So it's like that wound, that fear is there. The insecurity is there. Once you're aware of this, and this is why astrology is amazing and it shows you where in your life you got to work on things. Once you're aware of this factor in your life, you're like, all right, okay, I realize I have this insecurity about myself. I realize I have this wound about myself. I'm going to work on becoming more valuable within myself, loving myself, placing energy into myself before I actually look outwardly to get value within myself, if that makes sense. So all in all though, understand that the more you love and value yourself, that is how things will be abundant and fluent in your life. If you're the type that's like, nah, I'm gonna wait till I have this certain amount of money in my bank account before I'm happy, you can get that money or whatever, but then all of a sudden you realize all these random bills will start popping up. Things will happen, that Uranus energy will happen, unsuspected events will happen, that your money will be taken away. Or if I get that car, I'll be happy. You realize the car will start breaking down. Like things will start happening to you forcefully. So it's showing you like, look, this is not what your value is in. It's not in the external things. It's in yourself. And as soon as you do that and get to understand the value within yourself, then the universe will start blessing you with all these external things naturally. It's like when you stop thinking about it, it comes. When you focus on trying to get it, you're creating blockages and becomes harder to achieve and harder to attain, if that makes sense. So Chiron in Taurus, Chiron in the second house. Your wound is the sense of abandonment when it comes to your value system. Your wound is your sense of trying to hold on to things too much that are not serving you, or to hold on to things too much that are outside of yourself because you feel that you're only valuable when you have these things around you. So your lesson is to learn how to self-heal yourself by building up your self-esteem when it comes to who you are as a person, as truly remembering and knowing who you are as a person. That's your lesson. And as soon as you do these things, you will unlock the potential to actually help others around you to become valuable themselves, to become abundant in life themselves. So that was my video on Chiron in the second house. I hope y'all enjoyed that. My next video is going to be on Chiron in the third house, and you already know I'm about to go in. If you have subscribed to my channel, you already know I appreciate y'all for real. But if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and handle the one time for your boy. Don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie. I'ma see all y'all when I see y'all. Peace.